In the year 2147, humanity had long since expanded beyond Earth, establishing colonies on distant planets and forming alliances with various alien civilizations. Dr. Alex Carter, a renowned human medic, had been assigned to a medical station on the frontier planet of Xylara, a serene world known for its rich biodiversity and peaceful inhabitants. Despite the tranquility, the frontier was always unpredictable, and the medical team had to be prepared for anything. One quiet evening, as the twin suns of Xylara set, casting a golden hue over the landscape, an urgent distress signal shattered the calm. The Xylari royal ship had been ambushed by space pirates, and it was a dire emergency. The message was clear. There were many injured, and the royal family was in grave danger. Dr. Carter and his team mobilized immediately, their training and experience kicking in as they prepared for a critical rescue mission. The medical shuttle sped through the twilight sky, reaching the crash site within minutes. The scene was one of chaos and devastation. The once majestic royal vessel lay in ruins, flames licking at the wreckage. The smell of smoke and the sound of groans and cries for help filled the air. Alex's heart pounded as he surveyed the scene, his eyes quickly locating the injured and assessing their needs. Amidst the wreckage, a figure caught his attention. Draped in shimmering silver robes that glinted in the fading light, her green skin marked her as Xylari royalty. Princess Varela, the heir to the Xylari throne, lay unconscious, a deep gash on her arm and her breathing shallow. She was surrounded by a few guards, injured but still protecting her with their lives. "Over here," Alex called to his team, rushing to the princess's side. He knelt beside her, his medical scanner already at work. The readings were alarming. She was in critical condition. Without hesitation, Alex began administering first aid, his hands steady and precise despite the urgency. As he worked, the princess's eyes fluttered open, revealing deep blue irises that reflected both pain and confusion. Who are you?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I'm Dr. Alex Carter, a human medic. I'm here to help you," he replied softly, his tone calm and reassuring. He continued his work, applying a sterile patch to her wound and injecting her with a stabilizing agent. The medical team worked efficiently, evacuating the injured to the shuttle. Alex stayed by Varela's side, monitoring her condition closely. As they lifted her onto a stretcher, she reached out and grasped his hand weakly. "Please, don't leave me," she murmured, her eyes pleading. "I won't," Alex promised, holding her hand gently. "You're going to be fine. I'll be right here." The journey back to the medical station was tense, but Alex never left Varela's side. He watched over her, his mind racing with thoughts of how he could ensure her full recovery. The bond of trust that had begun to form in those first moments was something he felt deeply. This wasn't just another patient. She was someone who needed him, and he would not fail her. Upon arrival at the medical station, Varela was rushed to the intensive care unit. Alex coordinated with his team, ensuring she received the best care possible. Advanced medical technology, combined with his expertise, would be her best chance at survival. As Varela lay unconscious, Alex found himself drawn to her resilience. Even in her weakened state, there was an air of strength about her. He couldn't help but admire her courage, and a deep respect began to grow within him. Days turned into nights as Alex devoted himself to Varela's recovery. He monitored her progress, adjusting treatments, and ensuring she was comfortable. The medical station staff noticed his dedication, whispering among themselves about the unusual bond forming between the human medic and the alien princess. One evening, as Alex checked Varela's vitals, her eyes slowly opened. This time, they were clearer, more focused. "Alex, thank you," she said softly, her voice still weak, but carrying a sincerity that touched him. "You're welcome, Princess," he replied, smiling. "You're a fighter. You'll be back on your feet in no time." Varela nodded slightly, a small smile playing on her lips. "Call me Varela," she whispered, before drifting back into a healing sleep. As Alex watched over her, he couldn't help but feel a connection that went beyond doctor and patient. In that moment, he realized that this encounter had already changed him, and it was only the beginning of a journey that would bind their fates together in ways neither of them could yet imagine. The days at the medical station blurred into a routine of care and recovery, with Dr. Alex Carter at the center of Princess Varella's healing process. Varella's health improved steadily, her once weak body regaining strength and vitality. As her physical wounds healed, a different kind of recovery began to unfold, one of understanding and connection. Varella found herself captivated by the advanced human technology that surrounded her. The medical equipment, with its intricate designs and seamless functionality, fascinated her. One day, as Alex adjusted the settings on a bioscanner, Varella couldn't contain her curiosity. "What does that do?" she asked, her voice still soft but growing stronger each day. Alex glanced up, a smile tugging at the corners of his lips. It's a bioscanner. It monitors your vital signs and helps us detect any abnormalities. Pretty handy for making sure you're on the right track." Varella nodded, absorbing the information. "Your technology is impressive. I've never seen anything like it on Xylara." Alex sat down beside her, setting the scanner aside. "Humanity has had to adapt and innovate to survive in space. We've learned a lot from other civilizations, too. It's a continuous exchange of knowledge." Their conversations grew longer and more personal. Varella spoke of Xylara's rich history, her upbringing as the future queen, and the responsibilities that weighed heavily on her shoulders. She described the vibrant flora and fauna of her home planet, painting vivid pictures of towering crystal forests and shimmering lakes under twin moons. In return, Alex shared stories of Earth's past, the trials and triumphs of humanity's journey into the stars, and his own experiences as a medic. He spoke of his childhood, his sister's illness, and the driving force behind his career choice. One evening, as the sun set outside the station's large windows, casting a warm glow over the room, Varella asked a question that had been on her mind for days. "Why did you become a medic, Alex?" He paused, looking thoughtful. "When I was a child, my sister fell gravely ill. There was nothing the doctors could do to save her. I felt so helpless. I vowed to become a medic so I could save others, even if I couldn't save her. It's my way of honoring her memory." Varella's eyes softened, tears welling up. "I'm sorry for your loss. Your dedication is truly admirable. You've saved many lives, including mine." Alex nodded, a gentle smile on his face. "Thank you, Varella. And you've shown incredible strength and resilience. You'll make a great queen one day." As Varella's recovery continued, the bond between her and Alex deepened. They spent hours together, not just in medical checkups, but in shared moments of companionship. Varella began to see Alex as more than just her medic. He was a confidant, a friend, and perhaps something more. One morning, Varella surprised Alex by walking into the common area without assistance. Her progress was remarkable, and the staff watched in awe as she moved with newfound confidence. Alex's heart swelled with pride as he approached her. "You're walking on your own? That's amazing, Varella," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with genuine happiness. Varella smiled, a blush tinting her green cheeks. "I couldn't have done it without you, Alex. Your care and support have been my strength." As they stood there, the atmosphere filled with unspoken emotions. Varella reached out and took Alex's hand, her grip warm and steady. "I owe you my life." "Thank you, Alex." Before he could respond, an alarm blared throughout the station, breaking the moment. The space pirates who had ambushed Varella's ship had returned, launching an all-out attack on the medical facility. Panic erupted as explosions rocked the building, and Alex's protective instincts kicked in. "Stay close to me," he commanded, leading Varella through the chaos. The medical station, once a haven of healing, had become a battlefield. Alex's mind raced as he guided Varella towards a secure bunker, the sound of gunfire and shouts echoing around them. As they reached the bunker, Alex turned to Varella, his expression serious. "Stay here. I'll come back for you." Varella grabbed his arm, her eyes filled with fear. "Please, be careful." "I will," Alex promised, his voice steady. He raced off to help his colleagues, his heart pounding with determination. The battle raged on, with Alex tending to the wounded and fighting off the attackers. However, it became clear that the pirates were after Varella, seeking to use her as leverage against the Xylari government. In a desperate bid to protect her, Alex returned to the bunker, only to find it breached. The pirates had captured Varella. As they dragged her away, she cried out, "Alex, help me!" Fueled by a fierce resolve, Alex pursued them, determined to save her. The bond they had formed gave him the strength to fight against the odds. He couldn't let them take her, not after everything they'd been through. With the help of the station's security forces, Alex tracked the pirates to a hidden base deep in the nearby asteroid belt. The rescue mission was perilous, with every moment bringing new dangers. As they infiltrated the base, Alex's thoughts were solely on Varella's safety. Finally, they reached the chamber where Varella was held. She was chained, her eyes filled with defiance despite her dire situation. Alex and the security team launched a surprise attack, overwhelming the pirates and freeing the princess. In the ensuing chaos, Alex shielded Varella with his body, taking a hit meant for her. As they made their escape, Varella tended to Alex's wound, her tears falling freely. "Why did you risk your life for me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Alex winced, but managed to smile. "Because you mean something to me, Varella, more than I ever expected." Back on Zilara, Varella's people welcomed her with open arms, grateful for her safe return. Alex, now fully recovered, stood by her side as she addressed her people, a strong and compassionate leader. When the time came for Alex to return to his duties, Varella couldn't hold back her tears. "Will we ever see each other again?" she asked, her voice breaking. Alex took her hand, his own eyes glistening. "I don't know, but I hope so. You've changed my life, Varella, and I promise no matter where I am, I'll always be there for you." As Alex's ship departed, Varella watched from the palace balcony, her heart heavy, yet hopeful. She knew their bond was unbreakable, transcending the stars that separated them. And with that thought, she wiped away her tears, ready to face the future with the strength and courage she had learned from a human medic named Alex. Princess Varella's return to Zilara brought a wave of relief and joy to her people. The once-stricken planet rejoiced in their princess's recovery and the bravery of the human medic who had saved her. Dr. Alex Carter remained at her side, his temporary assignment extended at the request of the Xylari Council. They wanted to ensure their princess received the best care possible and hoped to learn more about human medical practices. However, the peaceful respite was short-lived. Unbeknownst to the Xylari and their human allies, the space pirates who had ambushed Varella's ship were part of a larger and more dangerous network. Their failure to capture the princess had not deterred them. It had only fueled their determination. One afternoon, as Varella and Alex strolled through the palace gardens, enjoying the serenity, a distress call interrupted their peace. A Xylari guard rushed towards them, breathless and anxious. "Your Highness, Dr. Carter, there's an urgent message from the medical station. The pirates have returned and they're attacking with greater force." Alex's face hardened. "We need to get you to safety, Varella." "No," Varella insisted, her voice firm. "My people need me. I can't hide while they fight for our safety." Alex admired her courage but knew the immediate danger was too great. "At least let's get to the command center. We can coordinate from there." The palace descended into chaos as alarms blared, and soldiers rushed to their positions. Alex and Varella made their way to the command center, where screens displayed the dire situation. The medical station was under heavy fire, and reports indicated the pirates were targeting specific high-value locations, including the palace. As the situation worsened, Alex's protective instincts flared. "We need to evacuate you, Varella. They're after you." Varella looked at him, her eyes filled with a mix of determination and fear. "I won't leave my people, Alex. If they want me, then we must be ready to fight." An explosion rocked the palace grounds, sending shockwaves through the command center. The pirates had breached the perimeter. Alex grabbed Varella's hand, pulling her towards a secure bunker beneath the palace. "Stay here," he urged. "I'll come back for you." Varella's grip tightened on his hand. "Please, be careful." "I will," Alex promised, his eyes locking with hers for a moment that felt like an eternity. With a heavy heart, Alex left Varella in the care of the royal guards and joined the fight. The palace grounds had become a battlefield, with Xylari soldiers and the human medical staff doing their best to repel the invaders. The pirates were relentless, their weapons sophisticated and their tactics ruthless. As Alex tended to the wounded, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The pirates were too coordinated, too focused, It was as if they knew exactly where to strike. Then it hit him. They had an inside source. Racing back to the bunker, Alex's worst fears were confirmed. The secure door was breached, and Varela was gone. Desperation surged through him as he scanned the area for clues. A discarded communicator crackled with static, and a pirate's voice came through. "We have the princess. Prepare for extraction." Fueled by a fierce resolve, Alex commandeered a nearby hovercraft and took off in pursuit. His mind raced with thoughts of Varela, her bravery, and the bond they had formed. He couldn't let the pirates take her, not after everything they had been through. Tracking the pirates to a hidden base deep in the nearby asteroid belt, Alex formulated a daring plan. The base was heavily guarded, but his medical training and quick thinking gave him an edge. He infiltrated the base using stealth and strategy to avoid detection. Every step brought him closer to Varela, and every second counted. Finally, he reached the chamber where Varela was held. She was chained, her eyes filled with defiance despite her dire situation. Alex's heart ached at the sight, but he had no time to lose. He signaled the Xylari and human forces, who had followed his lead, to launch a surprise attack. The ensuing battle was intense. Alex fought with a determination he had never known, his focus solely on freeing Varela. Blaster fire and explosions filled the air as the Allied forces overwhelmed the pirates. In the chaos, Alex reached Varela and broke her chains. "Alex," she exclaimed, her voice a mixture of relief and fear. "We're getting out of here," he said, shielding her with his body as they made their escape. Just as they reached the exit, a pirate aimed his blaster at Varela. Without hesitation, Alex threw himself in front of her, taking the hit. Pain seared through him, but he gritted his teeth and continued to protect her, leading her to safety. Back on Xylara, Varela tended to Alex's wound, her tears falling freely. "Why did you risk your life for me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Alex winced, but managed to smile. "Because you mean something to me, Varela, more than I ever expected." As the medics took over, Varela stayed by his side, holding his hand. The battle was won, but the cost had been high. Varela's people hailed Alex as a hero, and the bond between the human medic and the alien princess grew even stronger. Alex's bravery and selflessness had saved Varela once again, but the danger had not fully passed. The pirates had been defeated, but their threat lingered. Varela knew that she would face many challenges ahead, but with Alex by her side, she felt a renewed strength and hope. As Alex recovered, Varela made a vow to protect her people and honor the bond she shared with him. The battle had shown her the depth of their connection and the lengths they would go to for each other. And with that vow, she prepared to face the future with the courage and resilience she had learned from a human medic named Alex. The aftermath of the battle left Xylara in a state of cautious relief. The pirates had been driven back, but the threat they posed was a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. Princess Varela and Dr. Alex Carter had become symbols of hope and resilience for both Xylari and humans. Their bond was celebrated as a testament to what could be achieved when different worlds united against a common foe. Despite his injuries, Alex insisted on participating in the debriefing sessions with Xylari and human officials. His insights and experience were invaluable in fortifying Xylara's defenses and preparing for any future attacks. Varela, now fully recovered, took an active role in these meetings, her leadership skills shining through as she worked alongside Alex to ensure the safety of her people. One morning, as the twin suns rose over the crystal forests, casting their golden light across the palace grounds, an urgent message arrived. The space pirates had regrouped and were planning a final desperate assault on the medical station where Alex and Varela had first met. This time, they intended to destroy it entirely, erasing the symbol of unity it had come to represent. "We have to stop them," Varela declared, her eyes blazing with determination. "That station is a beacon of hope for our people. We can't let them take it away." Alex agreed. "We'll need a strong defense and a solid plan. They won't expect us to be ready for them." Together, they coordinated a strategy with the Xylari military and human allies. The plan was to set a trap, luring the pirates into a false sense of security before launching a counterattack. As the preparations were underway, Alex and Varela found themselves alone in the command center, the weight of the impending battle heavy on their minds.
"Alex," Varela began softly, "I've been thinking about everything we've been through. You saved my life more than once. You've become so important to me."
Alex looked at her, his expression tender.
"Varela, you've changed my life too."
"I never imagined I'd find such a connection out here, but I'm glad I did." As they stood there, the gravity of their emotions seemed to suspend time. Varela took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "If we make it through this, there's something I need to tell you. Something important." Alex nodded, his eyes full of understanding and hope. "We'll make it through, and whatever it is, I'll be here to listen." The day of the battle arrived, and tension gripped the air. The pirates' ships appeared on the horizon, their dark silhouettes a stark contrast against the bright Xylari sky. The medical station's defenses were ready, and the Allied forces waited in silence, their eyes fixed on the approaching enemy. As the pirates drew closer, they began their assault, confident in their superiority. But the Allied forces were prepared. Under Alex and Varela's leadership, they launched a coordinated counterattack, striking with precision and strength. Explosions rocked the ground, and the sky lit up with the fire of battle. Amidst the chaos, Alex and Varela fought side by side, their bond giving them strength. Alex's medical skills and Varela's combat training complemented each other perfectly, making them a formidable team. The pirates, caught off guard by the fierce resistance, began to falter. In the heat of the battle, Alex spotted the pirate leader, a ruthless figure, orchestrating the attack from a heavily armed ship. "There," he shouted to Varela. "If we take him down, the rest will crumble." Varela nodded, her eyes narrowing with determination. "Let's end this." With a swift and daring maneuver, they boarded the pirate leader's ship, fighting their way through the enemy ranks. The final confrontation was intense, with blaster fire and hand-to-hand combat pushing them to their limits. But together they prevailed, capturing the pirate leader and bringing the battle to an end. As the smoke cleared and the last of the pirates were subdued, a cheer rose from the Allied forces. They had won. The medical station stood unharmed, a beacon of hope and unity once more. Back on Zilara, a grand celebration was held to honor the victory. Varela and Alex were hailed as heroes, their bravery and leadership praised by all. But amidst the festivities, a bittersweet feeling lingered in the air. In the quiet moments after the celebration, Varela and Alex found themselves alone in the palace gardens, the same place where they had once talked about their hopes and fears. The night sky was clear, the stars shining brightly above them.
"Alex," Varela began, her voice trembling slightly, "there's something I need to tell you."
Alex turned to her, his eyes soft and attentive.
"What is it, Varela?"
She took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "I've grown to care for you deeply, more than I ever thought possible. But I know our worlds are so different, and our responsibilities, they keep us apart." Alex reached out, taking her hand in his. "Varela, I feel the same way. You've become a part of me. But I also understand the weight of our duties. Whatever happens, I'll always be here for you, no matter the distance." Tears welled up in Varela's eyes. "I don't want to lose you, Alex, but I know we have to follow our paths." Alex pulled her into an embrace, holding her tightly. "We'll find a way, Varela. Our bond is stronger than the stars that separate us." As they stood there, wrapped in each other's arms, they both knew that their journey together had only just begun. The future was uncertain, but their hearts were united, bound by the experiences they had shared and the love that had grown between them. And with that, they faced the future with hope and determination, ready to overcome any challenge that lay ahead. Together, they would continue to fight for peace and unity, their bond a shining example of what could be achieved when different worlds came together.